We are back, and it's time for some weekly candle analysis because it's Monday. Yes, big start of a new week. Hello, Adrian, and welcome back to another episode of the Dang Oracle. Yes, did you miss me? I was gone too for 2 days, just for 2 days. For people who are only watching me on YouTube and were asking where I was, you can always see status updates on my Facebook page because only on Facebook I can put some status updates. I don't know if I can do that on YouTube as well. Maybe I can, but it's not that easy. So anyways, I posted on my Facebook page that I was not going to be streaming for a couple of days because I had baby duties, and my grandma, the grandma of the little oracle, needed to go away, and also the nurse had to go away. The private nurse had to go away, so that left me with myself. So yeah, nothing I can do about that. Oh, why is there no sound? Really, there's no sound? Maybe there's some issue on yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I mean, the microphone seems to be working normally, so I don't think it's an issue. I think you need to adjust your sound, Sweet Canary, because it's not on my end. Woo! Thank God. I didn't want to start the new week with some technical problems. Anyways, I wanted to wish you all the best for the start of the week. And before we go on, let me say hello first to the hardcore crew, of course. Hi Darren, hi Lex, hi Nikolai, hi Jerson, hi Sunday, hi Carl, hi Sweet Canary, although you don't hear me. Hi Gil, hi Gita, hi Tina. Oh, Tina can't hear me as well. Wow. Darren can hear me. So I don't know what's going on, but it's not on my end. I don't think it's on my end because if people can hear me, then it's most likely on your end. Hi Oladokun. I look different. Well, maybe because I got a haircut, so maybe that's the reason why. Maybe that's the reason why. Anyways, before we move on, let's take a look at some updated COVID numbers. Hi Elena. Thank you for confirming that you can hear me. Let's take a look on the COVID numbers because we haven't checked them for a few days, right? So let's take a look. COVID, where are you? COVID here. And yes, we are over 3.7, close to 3.8 million cases in the US. Crazy amount of new confirmed cases. Sadly enough, Brazil is catching up like crazy as well. 2.1 million cases. India 1.1 million cases, and Russia 770,000 cases. So yeah, it's just it's really bad. It's really bad. So in the world, over the world, we have over 14.5 million cases. Am I wearing red for the Bears? Maybe Nikolai. maybe I should start wearing some green shirts for the Bulls, so that maybe the Bulls will push through. It's just a coincidence, Nikolai. Not don't take anything. Although, of course, I mean, nothing has changed. My bias is still the same. Not that it's most likely going to take a leg down, but hasn't happened just yet, right? So when it doesn't happen yet. Other than that, the top 6 countries still looks very bad overall, and everything. It's been to be honest. So I during the lockdown, I had my wife give me a haircut, and she did an amazing job. To be honest, an amazing job. Definitely for the fact that she's never cut anybody's hair before. She did an amazing job. But then the equipment that we have was really bad. It was really horrible, and really hurt whenever she was like shaving me and cutting my hair. So I was like, ugh, I don't want to go through that again. But then on the other hand, I didn't want to, get some sort of, infection or something like that. So had to wait until the hair salon, some of the hair salon did, some social distancing, placed some plastics and stuff like that, where I felt more comfortable getting my haircut. That's the reason why it took so long. And other than that, I wanted to see how long it would take before I really, really had to take a haircut. And also, another thing was I wanted to see if the little dang oracle would still recognize me if I would get a haircut and see. And to be honest, the first time after I took my haircut and I went to see the little oracle, he looked confused. He looked a little bit confused. So there's that. He looked a little confused. Anyways, wanted to follow up a little bit on Friday, right? Because I had quite a lot of comments on people talking about Chainlink, about that report. And so yeah, I've checked it out. It is valid. It is a report that was done by Zeus Fund Capital, Zeus Capital. The only thing that there was a confusion, because there's a Zeus Capital based in the UK, and there's another Zeus Capital based in Asia, which is where the report has come from for this report. So yeah, they've checked it. It's done by them. It's their opinion, and it's their viewpoint, right? So whatever you do with the report is up to you. I think there are a couple of like legit points that there is in the report, but that's the case for practically every ICO or every project, to be honest. So yeah, there is that. But other than that, for me, I don't really care about how it is in the fundamentals. I just look at the charts, and well, let's look at the chart. Let's take a look on the link chart. Link is looking like this. Let's take a look first on the daily, right? So I've said on the daily, this looks quite good, but most likely the top is in after we have reached that Fibonacci extension level of 1.618. Yeah, that's basically what we can clearly see right now, right? So we made a typical reversal pattern, and then on the short term, of course, like I said, we don't break immediately. We usually, what happens is we go down and then we make some small bounces along the way, right? So that's basically what we're seeing right now. So we made a bounce back, and then we bounced out of this falling wedge type of structure. We can clearly see that better on the short term here on the 4 hour, as you can see, made a nice falling wedge, then broke out from it yesterday. I think, yeah, it was yesterday, or no, it was today. It was today, actually. Yeah, it was today. So broke out from it. So for people who took this long scalp towards the upside, made perfect sense. But for me, I was shorting on this area here around 8.2. I'm still in my short. I'm holding my short on Link, because, well, like I said, this looks like a nice reversal pattern. And although, of course, we get nice pushes towards the upside, I do believe that we will most likely be going at least towards the down. And if we close the next 4 hour candle close here below the EMA 21, which is very, very likely below the $8, which is very likely, right? It's only 19. Well, who knows? It's still 20 minutes left, so who knows? But if we do start closing a couple of candles of the EMA 21, I do believe that we will head back. Well, most likely not today, maybe tomorrow, and then or in the next couple of days, towards the EMA 55 around the $7.6, and then get another bounce towards the upside. Not really sure if how far we'll be going towards the upside. Don't really care about that as well, because, well, I'll be closing my my short around that area, around the $7.6 for Link. Other than that, well, most likely I do believe that the top is in. Like I said before, the top is in, and most likely will be slowly going back down towards the downside very probably. It's not confirmed yet. It's not confirmed yet. If we are looking on the weekly chart, as this is how the weekly currently looks like, it still looks quite constructive. But as you can see here, the RSI is already starting to curl towards the downside, of course, after such a huge move towards the upside, right? But even if we are looking on the daily, it's still above the 10 simple moving average. So slowly, but eventually it will make that retracement back, most likely to around the EMA 21, right? So somewhere around there, and that's why I have this green box here already. But I'm just in a day trading position, so just wanted to just gonna close my position at around the EMA 55 on the 4-hour here. Take my profit. I entered my short around here at the 8.3 ish, something like that, 8.25, something like that. So waiting for this to go down towards this. Might take another day or 2 days or something like that, but basically that's what I'm waiting for. And then most likely we'll have another bounce, because overall the chart doesn't look that bad on Chainlink, right? So, but eventually, yes, I do believe that the top is in, and most likely will be going more towards the downside, and that has been my bias for pretty much everything, right? So doesn't mean that it cannot happen that we'll be going towards the upside. Of course it can, but I'm the kind of person that that is just going off on probabilities. And like I've said, if we keep on trending towards the downside of the support line, most likely the probability is just higher that we're going to go towards the downside rather than the upside, right? But is it impossible that we can't break towards the upside? I've seen everything happen already in crypto, and so should you. Everything can reverse, but as a trader, you should just be, preparing yourself for that situation, right? So let's move back into time a little bit. And what did we say on Friday? Well, Friday I did say that most likely during the weekend we'll be most likely ranging between the two ranges that we have been in, around the 9.2k on the top side, and around the 9k, a little bit above 9k, 9,050 on the downside. That's basically where we were looking at. And as you can see, we did a nice push towards the upside around the 9,200 area, and then we went back down towards the 9,050 area, and now we are basically back in the middle of it, around at the price that we are currently at 9,150. Now, as you can see, for me, this is still exactly the same structure as we are in, basically, and you can see it a little bit clearer on the 4-hour chart. For me, this is just a retest of the breakdown of the channel, right? So if you can see here, we broke down here outside of this channel that we formed for a really long time, right? We broke down from it, and then basically we retested it. As you can see here, we actually retested it twice, right? We retested it here, got rejected. We retested it one more time, and then basically got rejected one more time. And yeah, as long as, like I said, the in terms of risk management, for me it was really low risk, and the reason why, and I keep saying that, is we just look at it level by level, right? So if the price did break up outside above this green box here at 9,300 something, 9,305 for example, then most likely it will be going towards the 9,450, and only then things get more interesting for me, because like I said before, it is breaking this previous high here that we will be forming a higher high, right? So in the short term, not on the long term, in the short term. So if it would break this green box here, I would take that long towards this 9,700-ish area, right? Definitely tradable, right? The no trading zone for me would be just in between, like I've explained before as well. The no trading zone would be just between 9.3 and 9.4k. I would not trade that part, because like I said, I think it's too high risk. It can just go wick up here and then go back down, for example, or something like that. So not in my interest to be trading in that area. But other than that, like I said, I am still in my short from 9,350, and I feel very comfortable holding it, because well, if it breaks this one, then I'll just close my position and I'll just take the whatever $40 that spread or something like that in profit, and then reassess and reanalyze if we do break above this green box towards the upside. And if we break towards the downside, of course I'll be happy, right? I'll be happy because then things go the right direction for my short area. So yeah, it has not really concluded or done anything that was very, very surprising, right? And also, like I said, during the weekend, it's quite typical that you see that kind of bullshit where price just wicks up $100 or $50 higher than what you basically should be expecting. But just by looking at the CME close, the weekly close on Friday, well, on Saturday morning, we could see that when it closed at 9,195, right? It closed. We can't see it anymore right now. It was 9,195. Well, that was basically the range or the area that we could be looking at, right? So it would be, if we minus the premium of around $50, that would give us around 9,150. So we kind of had an expectation on where pricing would be. So yeah. That's pretty much what we've seen, and now currently price is once again just hanging around. But like I said, if the price is more hanging around towards the downside, the probability is just higher that we are going to be breaking towards the downside rather than the upside, right? But nothing has been concluded just yet. We are still in this range here, and yeah, everything is still the same as before, as we've left off. In the short term, do we break above the 9.3k box? Most likely we'll get to the 9,450. Do we break above 9,450? Then things become more interesting in terms of like the bullish scenario. We will most likely be heading towards the 9.7, and then maybe if we break that one, well, if we do break the 9 points, if we go up and close above 9,450, I do believe that most likely we'll be going all the way towards the 9.9. But does that resolve anything towards the macro? Not really, because we will just be basically hanging in this channel on the daily, right? But like I said, we still need to see it happening rather than anything else. But as you can see right now, we are just basically forming lower high after lower high after lower high, right? This is our high, lower high, this is our lower high, and then technically this could be our next lower high as well. So yeah, I would rather take a bearish bias, because that's what the chart is showing me, right? So I will not I think, is it impossible? Of course it's not impossible, right? We've seen crazier things before in Bitcoin, but like I said, not that important, right? Not that important. It's just, it's just a matter of putting yourself into positions where you feel comfortable and you have risk management, right? So nothing that crazy or anything like that. So what is going to be affecting this week on the Bitcoin price is, of course, the earnings, right? The earnings from the stocks, right? So for most of the big stocks, the revenues are going to be given out for this quarter for the big companies in the stock market, and that is basically what is going to be the big influence on what Bitcoin is going to be doing. So if we are seeing like I said, if we are going to see a pullback on the traditional markets, most likely Bitcoin is going to do that push towards the downside. If the traditional markets pump up and go towards the upside, then Bitcoin is most likely going towards the upside as well, right? So that's why it's way more important right now to be taking a look on the traditional markets, right? So let's take a look on Nasdaq, and we've done a little bit of an analysis on Nasdaq before on Friday, right, with the weekly close. And as you can see right now, I told you guys, I don't expect us to be breaking immediately, but very, very much sideways at one point. And then whenever we see the big news or the revenues being given, most likely Tuesday, tomorrow, or Wednesday, then then we will see that movement either towards the downside or the upside. So if we are going to be breaking this this level here, then yeah, things will look very, very good for the traditional markets. But if we break this level here on towards the downside, things will of course not look very well. And what are we going to be looking at or taking a look at is of course all the major stocks, right? So we can take a look at Tesla for example, of course, our good old Tesla. So as we can see, and I've spoken that before already, and that's the reason why I am out of my Tesla, since that we had that blow off top. For me, that's the blow off top. It's not confirmed just yet, but pretty much confirmed. Blow off top here when we had that 1,800, and then as you can see, this huge red candle towards the downside. That's never good, right? And although of course the price has been basically moving sideways, right? I said. But as you can see, we are closing candles right now on below the 10 simple moving average, and I do believe that we most likely will be going towards this this area here near the EMA 21, the 1400 something area. And if that area breaks, yeah, of course, then things will look quite bearish very, very quickly. And also, of course, we can see that we have divergences building up, right? Divergences being built up on the daily as well right now on Tesla as well. So if Tesla, our poster boy of the traditional market, starts to retrace, then of course that will affect Nasdaq, of course, because Nasdaq is just an index, right? It just holds the top stocks of tech. So we have that. So yeah. Eventually, this is going to be retracing and breaking the 10 simple moving average as well on the daily, and I do believe that eventually we'll be seeing a back, like I said, I think I said it before, I'll put a box here, most likely back to the base of around the $1,000 for Tesla. A lot of people will be hating that, and will be stuck with like Tesla at like 1800 or 1700 or something like that. So that's gonna be very painful. Is it going to be immediately? Of course not. This is traditional stock market, right? So it's not going to be as quick as Bitcoin or anything like that. But like I said, if eventually it's gonna make that pullback, most likely towards the down. And here, 22nd of July is the earnings report for Tesla. So now you know it as well. So in 2 days we'll have the earnings report. What usually happens is not really the day itself of the earnings report. Usually what matters the most is the conferences of like what happens next, what their future plans and stuff like that during the day itself. That usually affects the price or the confidence of the investors a lot. So if there's something bad is being said during that time, then yeah, people panic, and then people dump their stocks basically. But yeah, I don't expect much, to be honest. I don't expect that much action also today. Like I said, over the next couple of days, when more earnings reports are going to be coming in, I do think that we'll see more action, and then basically we will see the general movement. Like I said, we can clearly see that by following the traditional markets, right? Let's take a look on Microsoft. I guess that's the second one that is that's super big. And as you can see right now here, very, very similar pattern as well on the daily. We got that that top on the top here, and then a big red candle towards the downside. And right now, even on the daily, we barely are above the EMA 21, and it's actually, the price is actually now down below the EMA 21. Well, most likely it's going to make that retracement back to this 196, yeah, most likely 196 area. If we break that 196 area, then yeah, I'm looking at 188, something like that. 188 area would be probably next, right? So if we see Microsoft going down, most likely it looks like it wants to be pushed down there towards there. So yeah, looks like more retracement, right? Let's take a look at Apple. Apple. Oh, Apple. Apple is still is one of the better ones, but very similar pattern as well, right? So a top, very shooting star top here. We actually tried to go up there a little bit more, and then a retracement here. So yeah, most likely Apple eventually it will most likely go around here, around the 350 area. Of course, bounces along the way, 370 bounces along the way towards the downside. But Apple looks stronger than the rest of the other stocks that we are looking at. But like I said, this looks like very similar patterns that we are seeing right now on basically every major stock, right, that we are seeing. So what does that mean, right? What does that mean? Well, it just means that most likely the market is a little bit exhausted, a little bit tired, and eventually it will start going down, right? So be very aware of that. And well, like I said, if that happens with the stock market, then Bitcoin is going to be following, and that's one of the reasons that I'm also saying, like, most likely we'll be going towards the most likely we're going to go towards the downside rather than the upside. Not only on the technical level, on the chart of Bitcoin, are we pushing towards the downside rather than the upside. We also see that the traditional markets are basically taking a breather. So that just doesn't make me very bullish overall. Can it reverse? Of course it can reverse, right? Of course it can reverse if, like I said, if we see, for example, the S&P chart is actually looking a little bit better. As you can see, we did bounce off the EMA 21 here on the 4-hour, but let's take a look on the daily. The daily is still above all major moving averages, but I've said it before. We need to break this previous high here. We need to break that previous high, here. Then most likely I would be looking at this gap here between 3312 to 3328. Beautiful gap that needs to be filled. So the S&P looks a little bit better than the Nasdaq chart right now. Still looks quite nice, but like I said, we just have to wait for confirmation. Do we break this previous high here, or this green box that I've said? Then of course, most likely, I think we will go up and fill that gap, and then Bitcoin has also the chance to be pushing up as well with together with the S&P, right? But yeah, we're not seeing it right now, and we are seeing, of course, the individual stocks kind of slowing down right now, and you can immediately see that by always looking at the slope of the simple moving average. And that's the reason why I put the 10 simple moving average on basically all of my charts. And as you can see, this is it's that pink line here. So when we have this type of movement where the slope is really high, then the momentum is there, right, and price follows. But when we start seeing curling, it's curling down, it means the strength or the momentum is just slowing down. So yep, is it possible that we break this previous high and basically this green box and go towards this green box towards the upside? Sure, it's still possible, right? But yeah, it's just less likely, because we are seeing that most stocks are trying to pull back. And why is that important? Well, I've already shown you already on the Nasdaq chart. We have a weekly bearish potential, once again, potential weekly bearish divergence that we are seeing between this point here and this point here, which is humongous, right? As you can see here, we have a higher high on the price, and then on the RSI, we can see it here. On the RSI, we have a lower high here from this point to this point, right? So if this gets confirmed, this weekly bearish divergence, then you know what time it is, right? You know what time it is. It will make a serious pullback towards the The weekly is only going to be confirmed if the next weekly candle is basically breaking the previous low, right? So if this next weekly candle is going to be closing below this previous body of the previous of the top of the weekly candle, then we know. Then we know that it is confirmed the bearish divergence. So that's the reason why I put this green line here. So if this weekly candle just goes below here, below that green line, then this is confirmed as a local top. Then the weekly divergence is confirmed. That's basically how we know that the confirmation is there, because then the next tick on the RSI is no longer can no longer be a higher high. So then the divergence is confirmed, right? So basically here, if you just put a signal here if price goes below 10,353, weekly bearish divergence will be confirmed, and then expect a major retracement. Like I said, this is the first area is always the 10 simple moving average. So first pullback will be around here, like the 10,000 area. The 10,100 area is the first bounce. Then most likely the EMA 21 is the next one. Around the mid 9,000, 9,500, 9,600 is very likely that we are going to be pushing off there. We can get a bounce from here and from there and reverse. That's possible as well. As you know, bounce off the EMA 21 on a weekly is very strong and very powerful. So I'm not saying that we will be totally crashing or anything like that. Like I said, but if we do have that bearish divergence, weekly divergence, most likely will be going down to like 9.5k. In the bad scenario, we can go down to the green EMA 55 around 8.8k, right? And then reverse from there. But no divergence. It's only potential divergence, and we cannot confirm it just yet, right? So, of course, to confirm the weekly divergence, we are looking at the shorter time frames, and it, like I said, it works like a domino effect, right? So if the shorter time frames start to breaking towards the downside or breaking or making bad patterns, then of course that will affect the weekly. But for now, I don't really expect for the next couple of days. Like I said, I don't really expect the next couple of days to be that exciting once again. But it has not been really exciting for Bitcoin at all. To be honest, we're still ranging in this zone, right? But I do believe that the resolution is very near, and we should have a lot more action because the revenues are going to be announced in the next couple of days on the traditional markets, right? But overall, like I said, for me, this is a break below the support zone on the diagonal, but it's not a break just yet on the horizontal. So you have to be a little bit careful. So there's still a little bit of hope and chance that we are going towards the upside, but the more or the longer the things are just lining up towards a break towards the downside rather than the upside. But yeah, like I said, maybe the bears are not going to do anything, and the bulls are going to be pulling through, right? Bulls are going to be pulling through. Anyways, let's take a look on what something else I want to show. Yeah, on the CME chart, pretty much very similar what we are seeing right now on the CME chart, but the CME chart was a little bit it's a little bit more positive, to be honest. So if we are taking just a look on the line chart, we can see, if we are squinting this part a little bit, we can see that it technically did not break the pattern just yet on the downside, so that we are still here in this triangle. But yeah, look at this. This looks like a very strong rejection once again from the EMA 21. So it just and like I said, the slope of everything is starting to be curling towards moving towards the downside. So yeah, Yep, let it. If that's the only hope, to be honest, for the bulls. So if the bulls can manage to hold this 9K level for like a week or a week and a half, then most likely it will push towards the upside. That's normal, right? If the bears can't break a structure, then it's more likely that it's gonna go towards the upside. But yeah, I mean it's just a waiting game. just have to wait, right? And that's the reason why I'm just saying, in terms of like a trading, in terms of trading and position, it's okay. I mean, it's just a waiting game, and it's just risk management. It's all that it is, and a lot of patience. Because of course, if you're trading Bitcoin right now, it has been pretty annoying. It's been pretty annoying, to be honest. Pretty boring. Let's put it like that. It has been way more interesting to be trading the traditional markets, but now that's for me, it's kind of gone as well, the traditional markets, because it's starting to pull back, so it's not that fun anymore. The only fun thing that I've been doing is trading forex, to be honest. USD pairing has been because the USD, the dollar index, the Dixie, has been going down like crazy. So everything that was paired with the US dollar, like the euro, the Japanese yen, the Swiss franc, everything with the US dollar has been going up pretty substantially. So I've been longing everything on the forex markets in the terms of the dollar pairing, because the Dixie has been dying, to be honest. So yeah, anyways, let's see expected moves, right? Speaking expected moves, because we have a 12-hour channel, the 12-hour candle close. Woo, wow, amazing. So the first standard deviation to the top side is 9,220. Does that resolve anything? No, it does not resolve anything. The first standard deviation to the downside is 9,100. Does that resolve anything? No, that doesn't resolve anything. And if we are looking at the slopes, it's pretty much sideways. So yes, pretty much sideways. We do see the 12-hour stocks curling towards the upside. I guess that's a positive thing. Let's take a look on the RSI. RSI is just snaking around, hugging the EMA. Let's take a look on the daily. The stocks on the daily are still towards the downside, so momentum is still on the downside, and the RSI is probably it's still below the EMA as well, but yeah, nothing that spectacular. The 4-hour stocks are curling towards the upside, so we we might get a little push towards the upside for now, once again, before we get rejected or something like that. Let's take a look on the RSI. I don't think we will see anything. It's just hugging the EMA. So yeah, nothing much to tell or to say there, sadly enough. Maybe we can see some other indicators. Bitcoin dominance has been going sideways, so nothing that spectacular there. But I do believe that at one point it's gonna, when we have that major move, it doesn't matter if it goes to the downside or the upside. I do believe that the Bitcoin dominance is going to be spiking towards the, like I said, back towards the 64, 65 levels very, very quickly. Because if Bitcoin price is going to be crashing, people are the altcoins are going to be crashing even harder. And if Bitcoin is going to be pumping, the altcoins are going to be crashing as well, in terms of like Satoshi value, not USD value, of course. So yeah, let's take a look here on the Ichimoku cloud. Ichimoku cloud, I'm not saying that much as well. We are still below the cloud, as you can see, but yeah, nothing much. The divergence between, on the ADX, the divergence between the red and the green, as you can see, is still very big, but the ADX is still incredibly low, so that means the trend is not very strong as well, right? So, but as you can see very clearly, you can see that the bearish momentum is stronger than the bullish momentum, right? Let's take a look on the MACD. Does MACD tell us anything? Not really, right? Not really. Just snaking around sideways. COT, no, nothing that different as well. Stoke RSI's above the EMA, I guess, so a little bit positive. A little bit positive. But yeah, yeah, nothing much. We just have to wait it out. We just have to wait it out. But the resolution, I do believe that the resolution is going to be happening in the next couple of days when the revenues are going to be more transparent with the traditional stock market. Like I said, I'm pretty confident that the stock market is going to be directing us where Bitcoin wants to go. So if we do break this 10,850 on Nasdaq towards the upside, I will be very bullish. I'll be immediately closing my my short on Bitcoin and try to find longing positions, because that does mean that that will be most likely breaking towards the upside. If we are going to be hanging towards the downside here around the 10,350 area, then of course the weekly bearish divergence is going to be confirmed, and then I'll be, of course, be happy because I'm already in my short. So I'll just wait and cash in the money when the money comes, right? But other than that, even though I took a weekend, I mean, I didn't stream. Of course, I was still looking at charts during the weekend, but I didn't stream. Very little has happened, so it's nothing to be so sad about that you didn't hear me for a couple of days. I would have probably said exactly the same thing as what we are seeing today. So it's nothing that important. Other than that, well, on the 4-hour chart, we could potentially look at this as a potential bear flag, right? So we can see something like this. Yeah, so this could potentially a bear flag. So if we take a measured move from this to here, and if we break down, let's say in the next couple of days, we could see a measured move towards, wow, 8.950. 8.950, where is that? Well, that would be, yes, this CN line here, the EMA 100, which is something that I've talked about for a really long time as well. So because I do believe that we will have a pullback, a break towards that area with a small bounce most likely, and then break towards the downside there. So that structure that we are forming here on the 4-hour chart makes sense. Some sort of like a bear flag is being formed, and then maybe we will get that break towards the downside, right? So crazy times. It has never been this low, right? Anyways, let's wrap it up, because that's basically what nothing much else to say. Do we see another push towards the upside? Maybe we can push back up here, 9.2k area, something like that. We can also break down here. So who knows? Do I think that we'll be immediately breaking the structure? Maybe, but very unlikely if the traditional markets are not going to be showing us any direction. If the traditional markets later, in like an hour and a half, when the New York Stock Exchange starts to open, and we see like a strong pullback of the Nasdaq or S&P, then yeah, it could potentially happen. But just looking at the short-term indicators with the 4-hour Stokes pointing towards the upside, the 12-hour also pointing toward the upside, I do think maybe in the short term we will have a push towards the upside rather than the downside. Are we gonna go very far? I doubt it. Once again, I doubt it. But push towards like 9.2k is very possible. Other than that, I do believe that we will get some resolution over the next couple of days, and most likely towards this CN EMA 100 around 8,950-ish area. Will it be breaking? Well, maybe, but yeah, eventually it will go down once again. Band, let's take a look at band of brothers. Band, let's take a look at band. What is band doing? Let me take a look. Wow, yeah, band is is crazy. Looks looks like a big push towards the upside. Let's take a look on the daily. Yeah, looks very constructive. It's very good, very constructive. But like with every altcoin, and definitely when the weekly reaches this pivot line of an R5, that's really that's really toppy. That's really toppy. So I would once again be very careful at that point, at this point in time. It does look good. It does look good overall in terms of the chart, everything. Let's take a look on the shorter term frame. Yeah, it looks good. Let's take a look at the RSI. Yeah, RSI is super high right now. So bearish divergence. Is there any bearish divergence? Potential bearish divergence? No bearish divergence or anything just yet. So yeah, nothing just yet. Oh yeah, talking about bearish divergence, that's something that I didn't talk about. Yeah, on the 4-hour chart we can actually see some hidden bearish divergence. That's something that that I haven't showed you guys, right? So we do have bearish divergence here from this point here. So we have this point, and it made a potential, once again, potential bearish divergence. It's not confirmed just yet. From here to here, and then if we are looking at the RSI, we can clearly see from that point here, we can see that we made a here. So a higher high on the RSI and a lower high on the price. And as you can see, if we are looking at our cheat sheet, it is this one, hidden bearish divergence, right? So hidden bearish divergence is in play on the 4-hour as well. If once again, if this 4-hour candle is going to be confirmed as a local top, this one. So if this one is confirmed as a local top, then we will have some hidden bearish divergence playing out. But on the other hand, we did make a push down already from this top here all the way down to here. So is that bearish divergence already played out? Possible as well, right? So take it with a grain of salt, but just informing that there is some hidden bearish divergence as well there. Let's go back to shitcoins because people love to hear about shitcoins, because everything in terms of shitcoins is going up really fast. Yeah, still band looked good. Nothing to say about it, but once again, looks starting to look very toppy as well. Koti, let's take a look on Koti. Let's take a look on Koti. Yeah. Very little data. That's a problem, right? Very little data on these type of shit coins. But looks very constructive on the daily. Still looks very constructive. Let's take a look on the 4-hour. Yep, short term still looks good. Do we have bearish divergence? No bearish divergence or anything just yet that we can see on the 4-hour. So looks toppy though. It does look toppy. So we have this accumulation pattern, and then it broke out towards the upside. Yeah, I think it's going to be retracing at least towards the 10 simple moving average. So I would not be in a rush to be buying some Koti. That's not. But like I said, most of the altcoins, yes, they are rallying. They are rallying. But the question is, all of them are starting to look very toppy, right? So it's not confirmed just yet. But I always look at Link because it's like the poster boy. And if Link is starting to make a pullback, usually, you know, it just means most of the altcoins are pulling back as well, right? So let's take a look at ETH. Good old ETH. ETH looks, it still looks constructive, because if we are looking at the what we are forming right now here, we can still look at this as a lower high, right? So this could potentially be our lower high, right? After this and after this could be a lower high, and then we could break up towards the upside. The only problem is we also made higher lows, of course. So triangling. So we can look at this as also our higher low and reject it, right? So this could be our, this could be our high, higher low, higher rejection, higher low once again. So resolution will be known very near as well, very similar to Bitcoin, right? We are in this triangle, and but to be honest, this looks a little bit better than the Bitcoin chart. The reason why is because as you can see, the daily is still above all. Yesterday it closed above the 10 simple moving average plus the EMA 21 as well, right? So that looks good for ETH so far, but like I said, if we get rejected once again, and as you can see, this looks like a rejection, right, towards the downside. And if we break here, then it's going to be exactly the same as Bitcoin. So yeah, very similar. What are we waiting for? Well, we're just waiting for here. Do we break up below this 233? If it breaks the 233, well, actually we should be looking at this line though. Not 233. We should be looking here at this huge support line here. What's that? 230 area here. Yeah, 231 basically. 231. I think that's the key point here. Very similar to what Bitcoin is at 8,900. This is the green box, the green box of ETH. If we break below this 231, won't be pretty, but very similar, although it looks a little bit more bullish than Bitcoin. The chart itself a little bit more bullish, but because it didn't break down from the lower, it didn't create a lower low, right? It still maintained a posture with a lower high. So yeah, just have to pay attention. If we break here, this is the area, right? If we break 242, if we break 242 here on this area, definitely would be looking towards the higher, the previous previous highs, right, in this area here. So 242, I would be looking at 247, right? Something like that. And if we do break 248, then most likely big push towards the upside, right? So then we're free, freedom. If we get that high. But yeah, like I said, I think we still have to just be a couple more days patient. If nothing happens, and over the next over this week or something like that, I actually would be turning more bullish than bearish. Because then the bulls don't let the bears do anything. The bears don't have the strength to be breaking the pattern towards the downside. So if anything, I would say that the bears are actually more on the clock right now than the bulls. So if the bulls keep on protecting the area, it looks good for the bulls. If the bears cannot break it, the bears have like basically this week, I feel. They have this week to be breaking the pattern towards the downside. If it doesn't succeed, I'll be actually switching more bullish than bearish at that point in time. But for now, I cannot be bullish because we have not broken any structure towards the upside, right? So, and we are hanging on the downside. Yeah, it has pushed. As you can see, it has pushed this green box on the downside many times now already. So at one point it's going to break, and it's going to be permanent break, right? So you can't and we keep on making higher lower highs, right? So you can't there's nothing to be said that is bullish about it, right? So yeah, that's just how it is, right? So yeah, my bias is still the same. It it will change if the bears are not going to be able to pull through for another week, sure. But a week is a very long time, right? In Bitcoin land, in Bitcoin world. Well, although it has been very sideways for a long time, so maybe it's not that short. Anyways, hope to see you guys. Well, let's wrap it up. Well, very short. Let's see if we break the 9.3k. If we do break the 9.3k, I'll be looking at 9.450. If we do break 9.450, I'll be very interested in longing that towards 9.7, 9.9 most likely, and then things will be back towards the bullish scenario. Other than that, pullback, I'm waiting for a pullback to around 8.950 ish area, or this CN line here at around the EMA 100. Do we break it? Well, if we break it, even better. But if we don't break it, small bounce, and then eventually I do believe then that's like, you know, if we do hit that CN line one more time, it does confirm that most likely we'll be going towards the 8.5 8.6k area, or this green box towards the downside that we are waiting for so long now to happen around this area here, or the simple 200 moving average on the daily, right? So yeah, that's basically it. Overall, I think we are forming some sort of like a bear flag here, but if it takes too long, then it's not, the pattern will be invalidated. I do believe that this is a rejection once again, just a retest of the previous support line that has now flipped into resistance. So be very, very careful. And like I said, if Bitcoin crashes, altcoins are going to be crashing as well. And just looking at most of the altcoin charts, right? Not ETH, most of the altcoin charts. Like Link, like Koti, like all the shitcoins that we've gone through, it does look quite toppy. It does look quite toppy. So if that starts to go down, then of course everything is going to be following, right? For now, in a trade on for crypto, I'm in a trade for Chainlink, and in a trade for Bitcoin, of course. Still short from 9,350 on Bitcoin, and still short on Chainlink as well at around $8.25 or something like that. This green box here, what was it? 8.3. It's a little bit higher. Right? 8.3 that I'm in the short from there. We'll be closing it around here. 7.6 or the EMA 55. That's basically where I will be taking profit for that trade. Yeah, that's it. So hope to see you again tomorrow, same time, same place, 7:30 p.m. UTC +8, and it feels good to be back. Hope you are happy as well that I'm back as well. So yeah, until tomorrow, please stay home, stay safe, and of course stay COVID free.